We're finishing up our recipes today with some warm and wonderfully hearty cinnamon rolls. They're going to be so great.
So I'm going to start us out by making the filling for your cinnamon rolls. You actually start out by putting these in the bottom of a 9x9 inch baking dish, which is where you will put all of your rolls once they're done. So I'm going to spray this with some Pam. While I make the filling, Chloe is going to start on our dry ingredients for the dough. So for the filling, first you'll need 4 tablespoons of butter.
And this, for the dough, you will need flour, sugar, baking soda or baking powder, excuse me, salt, and a cup of milk.
Next to the filling, I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of cinnamon, which gives you your cinnamon rolls. Smells awesome.
Okay.
And finally, for the filling, you need a cup of brown sugar.
Two tablespoons of sugar for this. For the dough, you're going to need 4 teaspoons of baking powder. You're going to mix all the dry ingredients together.
Okay. So packed down, I've got about a cup of brown sugar. So after I combine the brown sugar, butter, and cinnamon together, I'm gonna put a little bit of it in the bottom of this baking dish, so that your rolls soak up some of this filling. And then the remainder of it we're going to roll into our cinnamon roll dough, so that they are on the inside as well. This smells so good with brown sugar and cinnamon.
All right. Mixing up these dry ingredients are almost finished. And I'm putting a ton of teaspoons in here because I have a 4th teaspoon. So I promise you, I'm not doing it wrong.
All right, so when your filling is done, it looks like a paste like this. And so the recipe calls for about half of this mixture to go in the bottom of the pan. Looks almost like cookie dough to me.
Whoa. It's going to be all glazy and delicious. Okay.
So we're going to line the bottom of our pan this way.
For the dry ingredients mixture, you're just going to mix all of it together so it's all like this, and then we're going to add butter, 3 tablespoons of butter. And for this, you just mix it with your hands.
Getting dirty.
Take these rings off.
We have our cut up quesadillas from earlier. We'll get these out of the way. Our next step is to cover our countertop with flour so we can get ready to roll out the dough when it's ready to go.
Need some more butter. Right. And for the dry ingredients, I am going to just put the butter in there, just like that, and just mix it with my hands. So it gets kind of clumpy almost. It's sticking to my hands. Okay. This is the last tablespoon of butter. And it's gonna look like this. Laura, would you be so kind and pour me some milk?
Sure.
Thank you. You're gonna need 3/4 cup of milk for the dough.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Ooh.
It reminds me of playing with dough in elementary school. It looks delicious.
Look at that. Just mix it all together with your fingers. Don't be afraid to get dirty.
Add a little bit more flour to our countertop here.
And you want the dough to be sticky.
Perfect.
We're gonna add a bit more flour because it's a little too sticky because it's sticking to my hands and I can't get it off. So perfect. And just mix it all like that. It's about finished. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
You know, you can just make a little ball with it, and then we're gonna roll it out into a rectangle so we can make these cinnamon rolls.
Since your hands are all doughy, do you want to go ahead and roll it out?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And I will start on the glaze that goes over the top of your cinnamon rolls. The glaze is really simple. All you need is a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar and a 1/4 cup of milk. So I'm gonna make it up in another bowl.
And for this, since we don't have a rolling pin, we're going to use our hands because we're college students and we can't afford rolling pins. So,
As long as you get it into the right shape, you're good.
yep, it doesn't have to be a perfect rectangle. It can just be, it just has to be flat enough so that it can roll out perfectly into a cinnamon roll.
All right, so 1/2 cup of powdered sugar and 1/4 cup of milk. Mix this together. And you can smell this too. I'm gonna add a bit more powdered sugar to the mix to make it a little thicker.
All right, so with this dough, I'm gonna roll it up.
Oh, don't forget to add a little bit of filling about halfway through.
I'm just gonna roll the edges over here so I can get a start on it. And then I'm going to add the filling over it. Kind of try and spread it evenly on the dough so
It
that,
smells really good.
yeah, it does, so that you can have an even coating. Can I please get under you so I can
Yeah, sure.
get a spatula? You can get a spatula, spread it around. And this is gonna be really, really good because it'll be brown sugary and very flavorful.
We've preheated our oven to 400 degrees for the cinnamon rolls, and this is what the glaze looks like when it's all finished. A little runny, but that means it'll be able to soak into the dough after we roll up our cinnamon rolls. Have you ever made homemade cinnamon rolls before?
You know, I haven't. I've made the store-bought frozen kind.
Me too. I've always wanted to try homemade, so this will be fun. You could add nuts to these. Like walnuts would be really good in here.
My grandma, she always adds raisins, and my cousins hate it.
You could add stuff to the glaze too, like you could put some nuts or just over the top in the glaze. Or have you ever had like the orange flavored cinnamon rolls?
Yes, those are my favorite.
You could add some orange zest to your glaze.
That would be so good.
Into your dough. That would be really good.
And what me and my dad do, we let these rise overnight, like the dough rise, so that it'll be really fluffy, and it is so good.
Oh, perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Cool.
It's so good. Okay.
All right.
Get a knife and cut these.
Yeah. Oh, your hands are all doughy.
All right, we don't need this part of it, so we can just put that somewhere.
Oh, look at that.
And when they rise, they will just easily shape into these little circles. So. Cut these however big you like. They can be super thick, they could be pretty thin, however you like. It's just your preference. All right, look at that. It's gonna be good. Look at those lovely guys. Little babes of cinnamon rolls.
So this recipe makes about 9 cinnamon rolls. You could double it if you are having additional company, but the 9 fit almost perfectly into our 9 by 9 inch pan. And our final step is to add the glaze.
I'll have this one for measure.
But we will go ahead and do that after the rolls have been in the oven.
Look at that. That looks great.
So our oven's at 400 degrees and we're going to stick these in for 20 to 25 minutes. All right, so we have finished up our dessert segment of today's episode. We're going to go ahead and let these rolls cook for a while.